How's it going, everyone? It's time once again for a weekly watch list. What this is the exact levels I'm watching for the upcoming week and how I'm going to trade them. Let's get right into this. Ticker SPY, SPY. I want to say this, I'm going to say it every time. You probably get tired of hearing this if you watch my videos weekly. If you're trading SPY, you can trade SPY options, SPX options, ES futures, or MES futures. And the same goes for SPX, okay? So basically, these are the key levels I'm watching this upcoming week. I don't know always how I'm going to trade them, if they're going to play out until we get close. I see confirmation, but, we nearly bounced. Let me zoom in a little here. We nearly bounced this 508.5 area on Friday. We were very close. So now, yes, it's still support, but I'm more interested in seeing a break below, come back up, retest for a possible short entry or put entry, okay? That's what I'm going to be watching there. Now this 505 looks solid for a bounce. I'm going to be watching it closely for calls or ES longs. You're probably wondering about price targets and stop losses. I touched on this on last week's video a little more in depth. But if I take this retest, unless I see a SPX level close and I'm watching that as well, my stop loss would be, if I'm taking the retest, my stop loss would be a 5 or 15 minute close above this level. I would be out. The goal here is to enter close as possible to my stop loss, if that makes sense. And I like to play these. Yes, I'll trim on the way down, but ideally you want to play these level to level or zone to zone, right? And that would be a nice trade. I don't know if you all are familiar with options. Some of you, I know some of you are, but 508.5 to 505, that's going to be a big move in the options chain. Or ES futures, that's a big trade for a day trade at least. So this 512.1 is resistance. We could possibly watch that for reject for puts or ES shorts. You get the picture here. These are my key levels. I'm going to be watching. These are the areas I'm going to be watching to take my trades in this coming week. Next up is SPX. Oh, by the way, at the end of this video, we're going to take a look at futures I typically don't trade, but I like to set up, and it could possibly turn into a swing trade. So stick around for that. These are my updated SPX levels. Some remain the same, and I added some. If we have weakness and we somehow get down to this 5,000 area, that's my favorite setup for a bounce. I'll be watching that closely for calls or ES long entry. Same thing as you've seen on SPY. Break below, retest for puts, bounce down here for calls. Okay. Now, if we get back above this 5150 though, it is this is resistance right now. But if we get above it, I literally don't see anything stopping us from a move back up to this 5180. And this 5180, let me add in this level here. I meant to have this 5200 in. Okay, and from this 5180 to this 5200, both move pretty smoothly from level to level here. So be watching that closely, but not until we get above this 5150, because it is going to be it is resistance until it turns support. So next up, QQQ. Now this is very simple and very basic. This is supply and demand, and these are the only levels I see worth trading personally. I've seen a couple others, but they wasn't clear levels. If I have to strain my eyes or try to convince myself a level's there, I simply do not trade it. It's not worth the risk. I want to see good movement, and I want to see very obvious levels. So this 433.6 to like 432.6 is demand right now, and this is supply up here, 447 to 446 supply. It looks solid. One thing I don't like about this is how we kind of chop around this. So maybe we look to enter off a candle like this based off the hourly before we go short. We want to see aggressive selling. We want to see price action confirming here, volume confirming. Whatever you're watching for, that's what we want to see. This did happen during the pre-market though. So from close to pre-market, which can be expected. Sometimes you do see a lot of chop in the pre-market. The reason I don't like this level here, let me just point this out real quick. You can see we have had some reaction here, but it's hard to really get a read in between these big zones. Like we have this wick up, and just right below it, we did have this consolidation. I don't want to get into a trade, especially if I'm trading same day expiration, and we just consolidate back and forth, because if you're trading options, that is going to kill your premiums. But again, If you're trading QQQ, you can trade NQ futures or MNQ futures. Now, let's talk about the new futures I'm watching. Have y'all guessed it yet? CL, light sweet crude oil futures. And this is a simple bounce. You can see it better on the 4-hour. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. I've not got a lot of experience in swing trading futures. I day trade 99% of the time. We have a clear trend. We have support here at this 84.5. Let's just come down, test this area for a possible long entry. I like to play it back up to this 87.6 area, possibly 88 area. My stop loss would be a 4-hour. If I enter this based off the 4-hour, my stop loss would be a 4-hour close below this trend. But it is worth noting this 83.64 would be a solid stop loss, but it would add more risk to it. But for me, I'm going to use this trend. Trend is your friend, right? So I'm going to use trend as my stop, close below it on the 4-hour. Hopefully we can get in this, catch a nice move up, and get paid. Very simple setup, but again, it's very obvious, clear, nice trend. I'm definitely going to be watching this upcoming week. And that's all I have for you all. I hope this helps. I did talk a little bit more in depth on last week's weekly watch list. If you want to go rewatch that on, price targets, things like that. And if you haven't already, be sure you're following and hit that thumbs up button and click that bell icon so you do not miss on any upcoming videos. Hope you all have an amazing week and make a lot of money. Peace.